Hello, thank you for joining me today for our online programming. My name is Mary Ann Wright, and I'm a 4-H area educator for Lincoln University Cooperative Extension. Before we start, let's recite the 4-H pledge. I pledge my head to clearer thinking, my heart to greater loyalty, my hands to larger service, and my health to better living, for my club, my community, my country, and my world. Today's program is focusing on birds, and more specifically, birds found in Missouri. Now, the state of Missouri lies in the middle of the country, and with that, we have very diverse temperatures throughout the state. We also have a variety of terrains and habitats, and so this lends itself to a lot of different bird species. So, we are going to talk a little bit today about some backyard bird species, but also here in southeast Missouri, we're familiar with a lot of other types of birds, like waterfowl. This area lends itself to lots of waterfowl migrating, and we know that because we attract a lot of hunters for our hunting season. We also live close to the river, and we have a lot of hawks. We probably see hawks on a daily basis in this area, so that's something that we look out for. But today we're really going to talk about those birds that we see every day in our backyard. So I'm going to pull up here a picture of some common birds found in Missouri. So Missouri is a really great state for birds. Of the 900 species that we find in North America, we have over 400 of those that are known to frequent Missouri. And over 300 are really calling Missouri its home. We really say those are some state birds. So when we look at this picture, we might see a lot of birds that are familiar that we see in our neighborhoods. Can anyone spot our state bird? So Missouri's state bird is the bluebird. So right there is the eastern bluebird, if you can see that. We also, in southeast Missouri, see a lot of cardinals. We're lucky that we have lots of cardinals. They're so pretty. We see those in our yard, and we kind of have an appreciation for those anyway because most of us are also St. Louis Cardinals fans. So we like seeing cardinals here. So today, we're going to work on an activity that will hopefully attract a few more of our backyard birds to our yard, and that's going to be by making a Pinecone bird feeder. So you need very few supplies for this, so I'm hoping that you have most of these at home, and we're going to start with a pine cone. Now, if you don't have a pine cone, there are other things you can use. You might think of an apple. You can use an apple or any kind of fruit like that would work for this project. We're also going to have a popsicle stick or a knife that we can spread with, so just a plain kitchen knife will work for that. We're going to have some peanut butter. So I've put some peanut butter just in this little bowl right here that I'm going to be using on my bird feeder. Have some string here because we'll need to tie our bird feeder so it can hang in our tree. And then we need some bird seed. So I have put my bird seed in a shallow container here. So if you have a bowl or just a container that you can put your bird seed in, that will make it easier for putting your seeds on your bird feeder. So let us start with our pine cone or apple or anything else that you think would work. We're going to start with that and our piece of string. So I've cut it pretty long here because I want to make sure that it is enough, has enough slack that it can go over our branch outside. And I'm going to tie this onto the top of our pine cone. And I'm going under just that first level of the pine needle or segments there. So I'm going to tie it off right under that. And I'm going to double knot it so we know it's going to stay on there. You don't want to pull too hard. We don't want to break the pine cone, but you do want it to be secure. So I'm going to tie it on here pretty good. And so now your pine cone should have a string. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my pine cone and just sort of hold it upside down like this. So the part that originally attached to the tree is going to be up top, and that's going to make it a little easier for me to put my peanut butter on. So I'm going to take my popsicle stick or my knife with my peanut butter, and I'm just going to start globbing it on this pine cone. So be careful, pine cones can be a little sticky and can also be a little prickly, so we want to make sure we're not hurting our fingers when we do this. So just have a good hold at the bottom, and then just put a lot of peanut butter right on this pine cone. Now peanut butter works really well because lots of our backyard birds actually like peanuts. But if you don't have peanuts or peanut butter, you can use some other kind of nut butter, or you can also use some grape jelly. Now, grape jelly is going to be even stickier, but a lot of birds also like that sweetness in grape jelly. When you're putting your peanut butter on, you want to make sure to go in between these layers. We want to get peanut butter all in that so we can attach more bird seed. The more peanut butter you have on here, the more the bird seed is going to attach. The better that's going to really cover the whole pine cone. So once I have it covered pretty well, I'm going to then grab it by the string so I can get this top part, because we also want to make sure the top is covered. Now, you're probably going to get peanut butter on your hands, so just refrain from wiping them all over your clothes, but that's another reason to have a paper towel handy or a dishcloth so you can kind of wipe your hands off. But you might as well wait till you get this hanging in the tree, because chances are you are going to get some more peanut butter on your hands when you're hanging it up. Okay, so that's pretty much covered with my peanut butter now. So now it's time for the bird seed. So again, this is just a basic backyard bird seed mix. I'll show you kind of, it says it's for songbirds here. So it's just a basic blend that I found at my hardware store. You can find this at big box store like Walmart. So anywhere that has birdseed is fine to get that. If you don't have birdseed at your house, which I know that's not something we necessarily keep around all the time, you can use some other household items that you probably would have around the house. So I've made one here, and instead of birdseed, I have used, can you see what that is? It's some corn checks or some corn flakes. So you can use some basic cereal. Also, birds love raisins. So if you have raisins in your pantry, you can put some raisins on there. Also, some old eggshells. So if you've made eggs for breakfast or using them for a cake, save those eggshells, and you can actually use that to coat your pine cone. So birds would like eggshells. Also, some dried corn, things like that. If you don't have any of those and you have rice, just make sure you cook the rice. But rice is another thing that birds really like to eat. We just need to make sure it's cooked so it's nice and soft and not going to expand in their belly. So since I do have birdseed, I'm going to make one with birdseed, and I'll have my one with my cornflakes. So just roll it around here in your birdseed mix, and then pick up some bird seeds and make sure you're getting in all those nooks and crannies until it's completely covered. Don't forget to do the top here. So once you have a nice coat, it's going to look like this. So now it's time to go outside and hang these up. So I'm going to take both of the ones that I completed for today. So I'm going to grab this other one, and I'm going to put it in my shallow bowl. That way when we're walking through the house, we're not spilling birdseed everywhere. So if it falls off, it's going to fall right in that bowl, and I'm sure whoever is cleaning your carpets will appreciate that. So we're going to go ahead and we'll walk outside and hang these guys up. Now here in the Bootheel, it is a beautiful day. And like I said, there are birds chirping away as we speak. So they're going to be very happy to have this tasty treat. Okay. So we're going to take our pine cone. And you're going to find a good branch. So I have this nice branch right here. It's low enough for me to reach. So I'm going to put my string over. I'm going to adjust the height here, and then I'm going to decide where I'm going to hang it and go ahead and tie a knot. And we want to make sure that it's really secured so it's not falling down, because it needs to support the weight of the bird. When the bird comes and eats, he's going to perch right on here to eat some of the seeds and the cornflakes. So once that's set, you'll have a lovely bird feeder, and I encourage you to watch and see if different types of birds come and eat from your bird feeder. You can also record what you find, and there are lots of different resources online for you to go to learn more about birds. I've posted a few in the descriptions, so I hope you take time to go to those links and learn more a little bit about Missouri birds.